Let's talk about that feeling. The butterflies, the can't eat, can't sleep, all-consuming crush. For 90s kids, it was all about landlines, mixtapes, and hope. No DMs, just anticipation. Remember that jolt in your stomach when you saw your crush? The world went soft focus for a second. Today, we're taking a trip down memory lane to relive those classic signs your crush was totally into you. Grab your metaphorical Lisa Frank notebook. Let's dive in. First up, the ultimate 90s move. They found any excuse to call you on the landline. Back then, the home phone was the gateway to every crush, every secret, and every late-night giggle. There was no such thing as a private chat. Every conversation was a high-stakes mission, with the whole family potentially listening in from the next room. No quick texts, just the nerve-wracking act of dialing your number, risking a parent answering. The anxiety was real. Would your mom pick up and interrogate them, or would you get to the phone first? Every ring felt like an eternity, and every second was filled with hope and dread. Hi, is Sarah there? The pressure was real. That moment of waiting, hearing footsteps as someone went to get you, was both terrifying and thrilling. You could almost hear your heart pounding in your chest. When the phone rang after 8 p.m., your heart would leap, hoping it was them. Nighttime calls felt extra special, like you were sharing a secret world after everyone else had gone to bed. The math homework call? You both knew it wasn't about homework. It was the perfect cover story, but really, it was just an excuse to hear each other's voices and laugh about nothing at all. It was about stretching a 5-minute question into a 30-minute, laughter-filled conversation. You'd talk about everything and nothing, just to keep the connection going a little longer. And at school? The note. Passing notes was the original DM, a way to say what you couldn't say out loud. That folded-up piece of notebook paper passed across the classroom was a secret message of affection. Sometimes it was just a smiley face or a silly joke, but it meant the world. The anticipation of unfolding it was everything. You never knew if it would be a confession, a doodle, or just a simple, hi. The content didn't matter. It was the act that counted. The fact that someone took the time to write, fold, and risk passing it to you was what made it special. Risking a teacher intercepting it, social devastation, but they did it anyway just for you. Getting caught meant blushing cheeks and giggles, but it was worth every risk. These calls and notes were their way of saying, I'm thinking about you, without the words. It was a language of glances, scribbles, and late-night whispers. If you got those late-night calls or secret notes, it wasn't random. It meant you were special, chosen out of everyone else. It was a clear sign they wanted to be in your orbit. Every call, every note was a little act of courage and care. In the 90s, this was the equivalent of a super like. It was the boldest way to show you were interested before emojis and instant messages. They were making an effort, risking embarrassment just to connect. Every awkward pause, every nervous giggle was proof that they cared. That's how you knew you were on their mind. You became the subject of diary entries, daydreams, and doodles in the margins of notebooks. It was bold, sweet, and unforgettable, and it meant everything. In a world before instant replies, these small gestures were the biggest signs of all. Here's a timeless sign. They remember the little things about you. Not just the obvious stuff like your birthday or your favorite color, but the tiny details you might have only mentioned once in passing, when you thought no one was really listening. Maybe it's the way you always order your fries without ketchup, or how you doodle stars in the margins of your notebook. They notice and they remember. Maybe you loved Nirvana, or hated pickles, or always wore that friendship bracelet your best friend made you. These are the things that stick with them, even when you think they've forgotten. They'd bring up your favorite band or TV show days later, just to connect. It's like they're collecting little pieces of you, building a map of who you are. In the 90s, there were no social profiles or endless text threads. They had to actually listen, to pay attention in real time, and remember on their own. When your crush remembered you were keeping your Tamagotchi alive, or that you had a big math test coming up, it meant they cared enough to keep track. These details were breadcrumbs, showing they wanted to know you better. Every remembered fact was a quiet invitation to let them in a little closer. It was the purest form of interest. No grand gestures, just small, meaningful moments that made you feel special. They'd mention your favorite snack or a joke from last night's Friends episode, and suddenly, you'd realize they were paying attention all along. It was their way of building a bridge, creating a shared world out of inside jokes, favorite songs, and secret notes. Remembering was a quiet confession. What matters to you matters to me. It was a way of saying, I see you, without ever having to say a word. If they surprised you with a tiny detail you'd forgotten, it wasn't just a good memory. It was proof that you'd made an impression, that you mattered. It was a neon sign, I like you. Even if they never said it out loud, you could feel it in every remembered detail. They were listening with their heart, not just their ears, and that made all the difference. In a world without constant digital reminders, this was real effort. Remembering was intentional, and it meant something. It made you feel seen, valued, and understood in a way that was rare and precious. And honestly, is there anything more romantic than someone who truly pays attention to you? That's the magic of a 90s crush. It was all about the details, the little things that made you feel unforgettable. It's all in the details. Their way of saying, you matter to me, one small memory at a time. Next, the adorable stumble. Their cool exterior crumbles when you're near. Suddenly, they're blushing, fidgeting, and giggling at your every word. They run their hands through their hair, adjust their flannel, or fiddle with their backpack. It's nervous energy. Your presence is that powerful. They want to be cool, but their brain short-circuits. They're here, they're here. Even a simple hello makes them laugh. Their friends? Whispering and giggling as you walk by. It's like a scene from a John Hughes movie, adorably awkward. They stumble over words, forget their rehearsed lines, and say something silly. People don't get flustered around someone they don't care about. That vulnerability is the biggest tell. If someone who's usually confident turns into a blushing mess around you, take it as a compliment. You're the one who makes their heart race. Their coolness melts away, revealing the real, totally into you person underneath. That's their heart showing, even if they try to hide it. Let's talk about the touch barrier. Those small, electric moments of contact that could change everything in an instant. Back in the 90s, before texting and social media, touch was the secret language of teenage crushes. It was how you let someone know you liked them, without ever saying a word. In the 90s, a playful shove or a lingering high five meant everything. These weren't just casual gestures. They were loaded with possibility, a way to test the boundaries of friendship and hint at something more. It was a subtle way to test the waters, to see if there was a spark. Every accidental brush of the hand or shoulder was a question, and every reaction was an answer. Sharing a Walkman? That was peak intimacy. Heads close, hands brushing as you both listened to the same song. It was a moment suspended in time, where the world faded away and it was just the two of you, connected by music and a single wire. Even a whoops, our hands touched moment was planned by the heart. You'd both reach for the popcorn at the same time, and suddenly, your fingers would meet. It felt like fate, even if you'd been hoping for it all night. These touches were packed with meaning, sending your heart into overdrive. A single touch could make you replay the moment for days, analyzing every detail with your friends. Sitting at the movies, knees touching for a second, you both pretended not to notice, but you did. That tiny connection was a secret thrill, a silent agreement that something special was happening. It was a silent question. Do you feel this too? Hanging in the air, waiting for an answer that didn't need words. If you didn't pull away, it was an answer. Sometimes just staying close was all it took to say everything you wanted to say. These micro moments were thrilling, a dance of proximity and feigned accidents. Every touch was a risk, but also a reward, a step closer to something real. If your crush found ways to initiate contact, it was a massive sign. You'd notice every little nudge, every playful bump, and wonder if they felt the same butterflies. They were reaching out, trying to bridge the gap between friendship and something more. Each touch was a step toward vulnerability, a hope that maybe, just maybe, you weren't alone in how you felt. It was their way of saying, I want to be closer to you. Sometimes words just got in the way, and touch said it all. In the 90s, that was pure gold. Those moments were rare, precious, and unforgettable. Sometimes the smallest touch said the most. It could be the start of everything, or the memory you'd hold on to forever. And you never forgot it. Those tiny electric moments became the stories you'd tell for years, proof that sometimes the simplest gestures mean the most. Here's a classic. They tease you, but in a flirty, friendly way. It's not mean, it's playful, a special language of affection. Maybe they joke about your Tamagotchi obsession or your favorite cartoon. It's their way of saying, I notice you, even your quirks. This banter creates inside jokes, a connection just for the two of you. Teasing is a low-risk way to flirt and get your attention. It opens the door for playful back and forth, building comfort and rapport. Underneath every tease is a hidden compliment. I like you. If they're always ready with a joke about your boy band crush or your gel pens, don't miss the message. Their teasing is a sparkly flag waving, "Hey, pay attention to me." Want a secret clue? Watch their friends. When you're near, their friends whisper, giggle, and nudge your crush. It's a silent telegraph. There they are, do something. Sometimes a friend even asks you about the dance on a secret mission. Their friend's excitement is a dead giveaway. You become a topic of conversation in their group. If their friends act weird or extra giggly around you, you're not imagining it. You're witnessing the friend telegraph in action. It's unofficial but totally reliable confirmation. You're officially the object of someone's affection. The ultimate sign. They want to spend time with you outside school. In the 90s, this meant inviting you to the mall, the roller rink, or the arcade. The group hangout was often just a cover. They wanted you there. At the rink, it was the perfect excuse for accidental hand-holding. The arcade, a chance to win you a prize or share a laugh. Movie outings meant sitting next to you in the dark, hoping for a shared moment. Making these plans took effort. Getting your number, calling your house, coordinating times. It showed real initiative and a desire to deepen the connection. They weren't just hoping to bump into you, they were making it happen. If your crush invited you to hang out on the weekend, it was a big deal. It meant they wanted to know you beyond the classroom. In the 90s, a mall invite was a declaration. That's when you knew it was real. Wasn't that the best trip down memory lane? Those little signs felt huge, and they still do. Share your 90s crush stories in the comments. I want to read them all. The technology changes, but the feelings stay the same. It's always about connection, courage, and paying attention. Thanks for hanging out. Subscribe for more nostalgia and dating advice from another time. Remember, be brave, notice the little things, and never forget the magic of a good old-fashioned crush. See you next time.